Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm here today with what I think is an exciting video. We're going to be doing a 24-hour readathon. So I've done a couple of these before, but I've done them different ways. So the first one I just did the whole 24 hours, like did not pause the timer, just read for literally 24 hours straight. The next one I did the timer method, but the timer method where it doesn't matter how many days it takes. I think this is mainly how like Alexa Ray does it, where you literally just start the timer when you actually sat down reading, and it might take a week, but you're just seeing how many books you can read in 24 hours when you're actually reading. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Today we're going to do somewhere in the middle. I'm going to do it pretty much the way that Emmy does it. Emmy Rossum. Sorry if I'm pronouncing her name wrong. So we're going to do it her way, which is basically, the kind of aim is 12 hours a day, but I know I can't do 12 hours on Sunday. So we're just going to do it how Emmy does it over the span of a weekend. Today is Friday. I am working today. Obviously I've not started work yet. It's currently just gone 8 AM and I'm starting work at 8:30. So I just wanted to intro this video now before I start. I'm working from home today. So that's the reason I'm starting this video now, because on my lunch break, I always like to go for a walk and listen to an audiobook. And I thought, well, we might as well just start this now and get like an hour of reading in when we do that. So that's the plan. I'm not going to be able to read much obviously during the day, literally just on my lunch break. But the problem is I've come to the end yesterday of all my reads, so I don't want to, like, I don't have another audiobook that I can listen to that's not a book for this video. Does that make any sense? So I thought what we'll do, we'll bank a couple of hours today. I do have all evening to read, so I'm hoping maybe we can get like 2-3-ish hours done today. The bulk of this will be tomorrow. I've got all day tomorrow, and then we'll mop up whatever hours are left on Sunday. So the first two books we're going to be reading for this video. The first one I'm going to listen to on audio, and it's Call Me By Your Name. My library had a hold of this just ready, so I thought, well, we might as well use it. And I think it's only like an 8-hour audiobook, and I always listen on 3 times speed. So that's like less than 3 hours. I don't know exactly how long. I'm not that good at maths. I don't really know what it's about so much. I think, I'm assuming it's a male-male romance from the fact that there's 2 boys on the cover. I've never seen the film, or is it a film or a TV show? I've never seen it. During a restless summer on the Italian Riviera, a romance blues, yeah, cool. It's a romance set in Italy over the summer. The weather here is just starting to get sunny and warming up a tiny bit. When I say warming up, I mean it's like 10 degrees Celsius. So it's not warm, but it's not in the minuses. So I think this will be a really nice book to kind of get me excited for the upcoming spring-summer seasons. And then the first physical read that we're going to do is Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. I did start this one yesterday. As I said, I finished my book and I was really in the mood to read. So I'm currently on page 38. Obviously, at the end of this video, when we do a roundup of everything I read in the 24 hours, we will just discount those 38 pages that I have already read. But this is her second to newest release that I still have not read. I love Ali Hazelwood for context, so I have very high hopes for this. This one is between, I've already forgotten the names, Rue and Eli. Basically, they arrange to have a one-night stand. They meet up, things occur, but not the things that you probably think are going to occur. And then they meet again in a work setting. And that's as far as I've got, so I have no idea what's going to happen from here on out. But that's kind of the premise. So it was going to be a one-night stand, but then I think suddenly they kind of have to work together, or at least work in close proximity to each other. So yeah, very, very excited about this one. I am loving it already, and I'm only 38 pages in, so I do have very high hopes for this. It's, as I said, just gone 8 o'clock, so I think what I'm going to do now, we'll start the timer and start the audiobook for this while I go make some breakfast. I'll finish getting myself ready for the day, and then we'll carry this on my lunch break later. So I'll pop back in when I'm on my lunch and speak to you about how this is going so far. It's now my lunch break. I've got half an hour, so I'm gonna go for a walk. I was only gonna go on a little walk because I did quite a lot of different exercise yesterday and it's left me feeling quite fatigued, but life is lifing. So now I kind of want to spend like the whole half an hour just outside going for a walk. Obviously half an hour is not the biggest walk, like I understand people hike for like 8 hours, but I've only got half an hour. So yeah, I think instead of I was going to do like a little 10-minute walk and then come home and sit and read some of Not in Love, but I think I'm just going to go out for the whole half an hour, have a good walk, get out, get some fresh air, clear the brain and listen to my audiobook. So yeah, we're going to rack up a little bit more time, and then after that I will speak to you this evening when I have finished work and we can really kind of crack on with the readathon. I finished work. We still can't like absolutely lock in because I need to go pick my boyfriend up in a bit and make tea and stuff, but in between all those things I'm going to keep reading, and then straight after tea we're going to properly lock in and like not do anything else other than read. So obviously I'm going to keep using the timer now, read as much as I can before I go get him, read as much as I can in between having tea and things like that. I'm going to make this very quick because obviously it's very dark. It's not actually that dark in this room, it's just coming up really dark on camera. Maybe if I go right down in my lamp, you'll be able to see me a bit more. Not that you want to see me a bit more because I'm ready for bed, so the hair is plied back, I've got oil on my face. But I just wanted to give you a quick update. So I am now nearly 3 hours in, just under 3 hours in, and I'm on part 3 of Call Me By Your Name, which is page 169, and the book is 250 pages long. So I've not got that much more of this to go. Obviously the little bit on that side is of it that I haven't read yet. I'm going to pause this for tonight. So the clip that you just saw was my reaction to a scene in Call Me By Your Name that I will say no more other than it involves a peach. Now, I forgot what the specific fruit was, but I did remember people saying there is an odd scene with a fruit. Nothing could have prepared me for that though. I'm not going to say it, but nothing could have prepared me for that. The book never really had me, but it's lost me. Like, it was at a point in the book where it was like, this is either going to really grip me in like the final 30%, and this is going to be like a highly rated read, or it's going to just continue to just not be for me. Unfortunately, it appears to be continuing to not be for me. However, it's not awful. It's currently sitting at like a 3-star. I can appreciate the book. It's beautifully written. I will give it that, it is. But I'm just struggling because it has no structure. Like, it has no structure. It doesn't have chapters. It's written in 4 parts, but the last part is like tiny. The parts get smaller as the book goes along, but there's no chapters. Like, the first part is like, I don't know, 75 or 100 pages or something with no chapters in it. And I'm able to comprehend this. Like, it's only a 250 page book. It's not that like I need 2-page chapters in every book that I read, but I think the fact that there's no chapters, coupled with the fact that there isn't a plot in this book and also very little dialogue in this book, we're just in his head for like 250 pages basically, and I am struggling with that a little bit. I'm struggling to follow it because it's just his thoughts on loop, and I'm like, oh god, I don't want to be stuck in my own head, let alone in yours, you know what I mean? Not in love, so this is what I'm going to continue reading tonight. I'm hoping to get a bit more reading time in. I was going to say an hour. It's only 10:15, but the chances of me being awake in an hour and still reading are probably quite slim, to be honest. But yeah, I am going to continue with this. I'm on page 83. And I'm not obsessed, but I like it. So in terms of Ali Hazelwood books, I've at least liked all of them. So I absolutely adore The Love Hypothesis, Love on the Brain, and Bride, and the novellas. I really enjoyed the novellas. I like Love theoretically, but I don't love it. I know that's a lot of people's favourite. I think I went into it with too high expectations and I just didn't love it, but I did like it. Like, I still enjoyed that book, it just didn't stand out for me. Bride is my favourite book by her. That was like a 6-star read. I adored that book. So I had high hopes for this. This was released after Bride, I believe. So I thought, well, Bride's her newest release, it's my favourite. I'm going to keep liking Ali's new releases. It's not that I don't like this. I'm just not... I'm a bit bored. I can't lie, I'm just a little bit bored. Like, I usually love the science aspect of her books, and I usually find, like, it's either digestible or I can just ignore the big science words and it doesn't make a difference to the plot. But in here it just feels a bit like, oh, come on, let's talk about something else. I don't know. Maybe there isn't more science in here than in her other books. Maybe it's literally just my pea brain. I don't know. But yeah, I'm definitely liking this, and I can see it getting better as they actually start to interact a bit more. But as it stands now, I'm just not obsessed. So yeah, all in all, this is going really well, guys. But I am going to go now, because this is now nearly 5 minutes long, this clip, and I'm imagining the quality on this by the time I've exported, edited it and uploaded it is going to be pretty crap. So I'm going to go now. I'm not going to film again tonight because you will literally just see me in the dark sat in bed reading this with my little light. So yeah, I'm going to go and we will properly kind of film the bulk of this reading vlog tomorrow. So I'll give you an update on this in the morning. Good morning, everyone. Before I went to sleep last night, I got nearly 3.5 hours in, so not very much. But as I said, the bulk of this is going to be today anyway, so I'm going to start listening now to Call Me By Your Name, hoping to finish that this morning. I'm going to get up soon, go make some breakfast while I'm listening to that, and then I want to sit down and read a big chunk of Not in Love. I did read some of it last night, but literally about 10 pages, and then I went to sleep and I got distracted watching the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader documentary on Netflix for the 3rd time. But anyway, it's lovely and gorgeous and sunny today, so I have a lot of housework to do, but I definitely want to get out for a walk at some point. So we'll start a new audiobook later. But yeah, the plan is for now to try and finish Call Me By Your Name, have some breakfast and get out of bed. I've been laid here awake for quite a while. It's now 10:15 in the morning and we are nearly 5 hours in, 4 hours 51 minutes. So first of all, I finished Call Me By Your Name. I didn't love it, I can't lie, I didn't. I'm going to give it 2.5 stars. I can appreciate the writing, I can never eat a peach again. I just think this book wasn't for me. I kind of touched on the reasons why earlier, but being in someone's head for that long with so little dialogue or so little things actually happening in real time, like, it was just quite a slog for me personally to just be stuck in his head the whole time. I can appreciate the writing. I think some of it was a bit too like convoluted for no reason. Someone summed this up perfectly on Goodreads. They basically said that reading this book is the equivalent to like staring at an abstract painting. I don't know what they meant by that, but what I got from that and why I think that's an accurate depiction is that I can appreciate the beauty of it, right? I can appreciate the writing and the craft that went into this, but I'm confused. I'm confused, I'm not connecting to it, I don't get it, but I can appreciate it. So 2.5 stars. I was going to give it a 3, but it just kind of went downhill after the whole peach incident. So 2.5, not awful. I don't feel hatred towards this, but I don't feel much of anything other than confusion and maybe some mild slight disgust. So that's that book done. I'm now on page 115 of Not in Love. So I've been reading this for like the last half an hour or so. And I just need to share with you a couple of quotes from this book. So I kind of said before, like, it was fine, but I wasn't obsessed with it. This is why we start getting obsessed, okay? I forget to look at other things when you're around. Okay? We're getting somewhere there. And then, your damn mouth is the most obscenely lovely thing I've ever had the burden of seeing. The man that you are. The man that you are. So I'm so excited to carry on with this later. I have been considering getting the audiobook so I can just carry on with it, but no, we're going to be good because I already have an audiobook of another book that we're going to talk about now. So I'm going to save this because I've got loads of jobs to do now. I need to get ready for the day. So we're going to whack an audiobook on, and then I'm hoping by this afternoon most of my jobs will be done so we can just spend the afternoon and evening just reading this book. And the audiobook I'm going to listen to is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. This has been on my TBR for a long time, and again I saw that my library just had the audiobook ready, and it's only 7 hours, and again I listened to it on 3 times speed. So that'll only take me, what, like 2.5, probably not even 2.5 hours. I'm going to listen to this whilst I get ready, do my jobs, probably also go out for a walk in a bit as well, so we can get another book quickly ticked off. I have no idea literally at all what this is about. There's a $100,000 reward at stake. Okay, so we've got some kind of like detective-ness. I like that we've got some kind of element of that going on. So yeah, I'm excited to read this one. So I'm gonna stick this on now, get ready for the day, clean my bathroom, thrilling stuff, truly. And we will see where the day takes us. Now ready, well, like half ready for the day. I'm wearing my I'm bleaching my house outfit because this jumper and the joggers I'm wearing have already got bleach stains all over them. So I'm now going to clean my bathroom while I listen to Turtles All the Way Down. I'm not loving it so far. I didn't realise the book was going to be like so focused on OCD. Like the main character, Aza, is really like going into her thoughts on OCD. So I think maybe a bit of care, a bit of a trigger warning if you do have OCD or any kind of mental health problem, really, because she's got like anxiety as well, I think, and she really talks about her thoughts. And I'd say if you have health anxiety, be careful with this, because I'm a emetophobic. Like, I'm okay with it right now, but it feels like, listening to this book feels like a form of exposure therapy. Hearing her talk like about bodily symptoms, like in quite a lot of detail. So yeah, I wouldn't say I'm enjoying this, but I'm gonna stick it out as a form of exposure therapy. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna clean the bathroom now. I don't think it'll take me too much longer to listen to this book anyway, and then we'll move on to something else. We are now 7 hours in. The bathroom is cleaned. I didn't film much of it because I realised that's really boring. I am now going to clean the book room though. However, there's currently not many books in the book room. This is the current state of play of the bookshelves. I've already basically packed to move, but I basically spilt loads of beads in my rug and they're now all over the floor, so I need to give the room a good hoover. I've already cleaned the shelves. I have put my... So on the TBR cart it's just my March TBR for now, and then I've put all of the books that I don't plan to read in March on the shelves, and then when I move I'm just going to chuck them in like a bag for life and just carry them in the car with me. So the job for now, I did clean a lot of this room the other day, but because I use it so much it just gets messy quite quickly. So I'm going to hoover up, do a bit of a tidy in here, tidy up the desk. How much have I actually got left of Turtles All the Way Down? 52 minutes, and I'm listening to it on 3 times speed, so just under 20 minutes, so I'll probably listen to this in the time it takes me to clean this room. We'll talk about Turtles All the Way Down and then decide what we're going to do next. We have finished our second book of the readathon, Turtles All the Way Down. 2-star. Did not enjoy. I'm going to make this quick because both the air fryer and the washing machine are currently on, so I can only imagine the background noise in this clip. This just wasn't for me at all. I'm not saying the book is like wrong, obviously. Like, it's basically about Asa, who she really struggles with her mental health, particularly with OCD and anxiety that kind of link together. And the book is very much about that. It's actually not about the mystery that is mentioned in the blurb, like, really at all. I thought the mystery would play a much bigger part. It didn't. It was just kind of a few moments like sprinkled in. It really didn't play much of a part. So there's that. Yeah, 2 stars. I don't really know what to do now because my dinner is in like middle of the day meal. Sorry, breakfast, dinner, tea, because I'm northern. My dinner / lunch is cooking and it's got 25 minutes and I need to clean the kitchen. So obviously I need to use those 25 minutes as part of this readathon. But I finished both of the audiobooks that I plan to listen to. Now we do have a few options. I currently have BookBeat. So there's on there that I've picked out Alone With You in the Ether by Olivia Blake and Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter, but I'm not really in the mood for either of those. From my library I have a hold of The Women by Kristen Hanna, which I kind of am in the mood for, but kind of alongside this I'm filming a 5-star predictions video where I try and find my first 5-star read. So I'm conscious to listen to my first Kristen Hanna in case it's like a straight up 5-star. The Women as well is quite a long book, and I'm not sure I want a long book, but then the only other option we've really got is Nocticadia, which is an 18-hour audiobook, which is a 6-hour for me on 3 times speed. But am I going to listen to another 6 hours worth? Like, I want something I can finish basically in this video. And unfortunately they don't have this on BookBeat. I could listen to this on Spotify, but I want to save my Spotify hours this month to listen to the new Emily Wilde book. Unless the new Emily Wilde book is available either from my library or BookBeat. No, Emily Wilde is not. So unfortunately I can't listen to this because I need to save my Spotify hours. I'm definitely going to try and finish this in this video though. Like, I'm going to sit down and read a lot of this as soon as I've finished all these stupid chores that I've got to do. If I wasn't moving house, by the way, I would have scrapped the chores, but I actually kind of wanted to do the video this way to prove that, like, this is how I read a lot, is that I'm still productive and like I still clean my house, but I just listen to audiobooks. I think we're just gonna have to go with Nothing Like the Movies. I'm not 100% in the mood for it, but then again, I've literally been thinking to myself, like, I want to pick an audiobook that's like super easy and light, which is literally gonna be Nothing Like the Movies. And I do also own a physical copy, which is good because it means I can kind of switch between the two. So let's do that. Let's go with Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter while I go clean the kitchen whilst my dinner / lunch cooks. I've finished my dinner now, so I'm just going to let that settle. I want to go for a walk soon, but I do have some more jobs to do before we go for the walk. So I'm going to sit and let my dinner settle, watch some booktube, read some more of Not in Love, and then we'll see where we go from there. So I've started, what is it even called? Nothing Like the Movies, and I'm actually really liking it so far. Granted, I'm not very far in. I think I'm on like chapter 4, so maybe the bits that people don't like about it will come later in the book, but as of right now, I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely the exact vibe that I wanted out of my next audiobook. I just wanted something like quick, easy, simple, and that's exactly what it is. So can't complain. But yeah, for now I'm going to read a little bit more of Not in Love. We are now 9 hours in, just over 9 hours, 9 hours and 7 minutes. And I'm just going to go for a walk now. I've still not decided where I'm going to go. I don't know if I'm going to like drive somewhere and then walk, or just walk around where I live. But I've been walking around where I live loads and it's quite boring. So I think I'm going to drive somewhere and go and have a walk. And obviously whilst I do that, I'm going to listen to Nothing Like the Movies. I'm still really enjoying it. Like, I completely get that the characters are different from the first book, but it just feels like they've grown up. Like it doesn't feel to me annoying at this stage. I don't know how far in I am. Let me see if it tells me how many percent through I am on BookBeat. 25% in, so I'm a quarter way through the book and they're not annoying me yet. But it's pretty good going. I'm not saying it's like a 5-star, better than the movies. I've not even explained what this book is. This is the second book to Better Than the Movies. So the first one is a YA like rom-com romance about Wes and Liz, who are next door neighbours, and they don't really get on. They argue over petty things like car parking spaces and stuff like that, and over the course of the book they develop a romance. And there's also a lot of like movie references in there as well. I'm not a film kind of person, I don't watch many films, but I'd heard of most of them. Like, it's not essential parts of the plot that you have to know anything about those films. It's basically just like every chapter opens with a quote from a film and they talk about films a bit, but like I literally have never seen any film other than The Hunger Games, and I was fine. Like, it doesn't impede on your understanding of the book. So that's the first book, and that is set when they're in high school. This one is set when they're in college, but they're not together anymore. That's not a spoiler. That's like the whole premise of the book, is that they're not together anymore. I won't say any more than that. I went into it pretty blind, other than knowing that they weren't together anymore. And I'm enjoying it. As I said, it's going all right. So I'm going to continue listening to this while I go have a nice walk out. My camera is nearly dead, so I'm going to leave it here on charge, but I'll film some clips of my walk on my phone, and I will speak to you when I am back from my walk. Boiling. I've just been for my walk. I just love being outside, guys. Like, it was just so stunning. And I did like, not the biggest walk, but the bigger walk. I didn't do like the whole thing, because that's like a 3-hour round trek to loads of villages, and I would never do that on my own. Not as a woman in this society. But I walked up the big hill to get the views, and it was just stunning. I just love being out. I would literally, if it was like safe and a normal thing to do, I would just walk around here for hours. Like, it's just stunning. Anywhere outside, really. Anywhere outside that there's horses, like, I just love that. So yeah, I'm gonna drive home now, still listening to, obviously I've paused it now to speak, but I'm still listening to Nothing Like the Movies, and I'll chat to you properly when I get home. Ignore the laundry bag next to me, it doesn't live there. I just haven't taken it back upstairs yet, but we are so close to being halfway through. Been just under 12 hours and it's currently 6:20, so we've still got, I'd say, at least like another 4 hours of reading time, so we should be able to get like a solid 16 hours a day, and then it just leaves 8 hours to do tomorrow. I've been listening to this like ever since I got home while I've been eating tea. I'm now on chapter 31, but I'm gonna stop listening to this now, and I was considering just physically reading this to finish it because I'm actually really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying this. It's sitting at like a 4-star, not like mind-blowing, but just a good time. So anyway, I was gonna sit and finish this, but I actually want to save the rest of the audiobook because I've got a feeling that I'm gonna probably be up earlier than my boyfriend in the morning. So I think my plan is when I wake up in the morning, put the earphones straight in and listen to the rest of this while I get up and potter around and have breakfast and stuff, because obviously I don't want to start another audiobook tomorrow morning because I probably won't get time to listen to another full book. So I think that's the plan. I think we're going to leave this here for now so that I've still got the audio, and we're going to read some more of Not in Love. I've been looking forward to this all day. So I am now on page 133. I can't remember when the last time I updated you was. I'm a little under halfway through, but yeah, still enjoying it. It's definitely, I think I last spoke to you about this when I was reading out the quotes, and those quotes are making me quite excited for what's to come in this book. So yeah, I'm going to sit and read this for a bit now before I go and have a bath, and I will get back to you in a bit. It's now 10 p.m, well nearly, it's 9:58. We are 14.5 hours in and I'm getting tired. But the problem is I don't want to leave like nearly 10 hours to do tomorrow. And I really don't want this to have to go into Monday if I can help it, because it already started on Friday and like the point was to do most of it within 2 days. So I am going to stay up a bit longer. On page 239, chapter 24. And I'm still really liking it. It's getting better and better. I feel like this, I was going to say it's more slow burn than her others. I don't necessarily think that's true. It's different. Like the romance development in here, for me, feels very different from anything Ali Hazelwood has done in her other books. And I feel like the way she sums it up in like the little note, like the Dear Reader note at the beginning, like I'm really glad I read the little note at the beginning. Like I feel like it's putting this book into context and making me understand the characters before it's actually revealed by the characters in the book, because they're both like very closed off emotionally. It is spicy, but like also not as much as what I thought based on what people were saying, which I would rather it not be as spicy. I'm not averse to smutting books, but I do tend to like a romance that has like a real emotional connection to it, and then whether it has smut or not for me is, I don't really care as long as that emotional connection is there. But I feel like it is in here, even though there are quite a few different smut scenes. I feel like they have a purpose. They're not just doing the same thing on repeat to fill the book. Like I feel like every time they do something physical, it has a purpose in building the relationship. So yeah, I'm actually not minding it. So sorry that I literally like Hagrid, but unfortunately I've got a headache, so I'm just gonna have to keep my hair down, because if I tie it back, maybe I should just like put it backwards so you don't have to look at it. If I tie it back, it'll make my headache worse, so apologies. But anyway, we are now 20 hours in, so we've got 4 hours left. As you can see, it is nearly 20 to 5 on Sunday. I don't know if that's focused enough for you to see. So yeah, time is ticking. We've still got 4 hours left. I'm still hoping that I'll be able to finish this though before I go to sleep. I am about to wash my hair, so I need to do that snappy and then sit down and read. So let's talk about the books that I've finished. Obviously I've already spoken about Turtle All the Way Down and Call Me By Your Name. I have just finished these two. So I finished this one a couple of hours ago when I came on to say I was gonna like clean. I finished this whilst I was cleaning, and I've given it a 4-star. It was really cute. Towards the end I could definitely see why people were getting annoyed with the characters, like Liz especially. Towards the end I was like, babe, just come on, like this is ridiculous now. But I still did enjoy the book overall, and I think I was a bit worried at first because like it just didn't have that same like charm and vibe for me as the first book did, and I still don't think it had as much charm as the first book, but it definitely got better on that front towards the end. He definitely had a bit of that, like maybe it was when they went like back home, I don't know, but I like the bits when they're at uni as well. I do love a good college romance, and obviously this is very different to most college romances. I typically read like hockey college romances, so this was different to that, but yeah, I did really enjoy it. It was really cute, and I am very glad that I read it. And then I've literally just 2 minutes ago finished Not in Love, and I gave this a 4.5. It was so cute. Definitely not giving me 5-star feelings. Like Bride, for example, as soon as I finished that I was like obsessed and I just loved it. This didn't quite give me that feeling. I think just because the first maybe like 80-ish pages for me were a little bit slow, and like I don't know, usually I feel like this had a bit less humour than Ali's other books, which definitely makes sense because of the backstory of particularly the female main character, but like also the male main character. I do wish we got a little bit more of the backstory, but I also appreciate that Ali probably didn't want their character to be their past. Like I completely get that you don't always want to just write a character's like trauma all the time and kind of focus on their past, so I get that. I just wish we'd have got a little bit more. We kind of got a lot of what I've literally already forgotten their names. We did get a bit of Rue's backstory, but it was in like a bit of an info dump when she just kind of told Eli everything, and I wish it was a little bit more interspersed throughout the story, but that's not really a massive complaint. I think the main thing that made it not 5-star for me was just that the beginning I found a little bit harder to get into than usual with Ali's books, but by the end I absolutely loved it. So yeah, again, very glad that I've got this one off the TBR. I've had this since it came out and just never read it because I always liked having Ali Hazelwood book kind of in my locker ready to read when I need something that I just kind of know is going to be good. But now that Deep End is out, and I think Ali's got 2 more books coming out this year, I thought it was about time to read this one. So there is a second one coming out in this series. I've not looked who it's going to be about. I've got a feeling of some characters that like I think would have a romance, and I kind of really hope it's about them. So my original plan was to read Out of the Woods in this video, and I still might do that. However, I've only got 4 hours left, and I know I can't finish this in 4 hours. But I don't think there's many books I could finish in 4 hours. I am a slow reader, so even though this isn't that long, and I think most people probably could read it in 4 hours, I just know I can't. If you don't know, this is a follow-up to Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young, and this is about characters from that book. So in Out on a Limb, these characters are already married, and I think this book is like a, not like a marriage in dire trouble. Like you could tell in Out on a Limb that they have like a very strong bond, they're childhood sweethearts, they've been together forever kind of thing. But I think this book is just a bit of like, the relationship needs a bit of a revival, and they go to like a camp thing. I don't really know. It's very outdoorsy, which I like. So yeah, I think that's probably the plan. Just accept that I'm not going to finish this and just read as much of it as I possibly can in this video. I did it. I actually did it. We'll talk about how the readathon ended in a sec, but at like something past 9 last night, you'll have seen in the previous clip, we got to 24 hours. I did miss stopping exactly on 24, but yeah, I did it, guys. However, I didn't get as far into Out of the Woods as I wanted to because I had a god-awful headache last night. So obviously I set aside 4 hours to read Out of the Woods. We'll get to that one in a minute because I'm going to do a really quick wrap up now. So, first book we read was Call Me By Your Name. This was a 2.5 star. I appreciated the writing, but it just wasn't for me. There was too much like peach for me. Turtles All the Way Down, this just wasn't for me. I can always appreciate John Green's writing, like he can clearly write a book. I've enjoyed other books of his, just not this one unfortunately, so I gave this one a 2 star. Then we read Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. Did we finish this first or Nothing Like the Movies first? I think we finished this first actually. Guys, it was literally only yesterday, I can't remember. Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. This was like a 4.25. I really enjoyed it, it was cute. The characters did irritate me a little bit at the end, but I just loved the vibe of this. And again, I do just love how Lynn Painter writes, even though her plots and her stories aren't always 100% for me. I still read her books because I just love the way that she writes. It's just like fun. Then we read Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. This was a 4.5. I loved this and I'm still thinking about it. Like, the more I think about it, the more I love it. I still don't think it'll ever go to a 5-star. That can happen sometimes for me, where if I'm still thinking about a book I might bump it up. I don't see that happening with this, just because, as I said earlier, the first like 80 pages or so were a bit slow for me. And I don't think I did mention, I don't understand why this is, but the female main characters chapters are in first person and then the MMCs are in third. Just pick one. I don't really care if it's first or third, just pick one and stick with it. I found that really jarring. Like, it was really difficult whenever the point of view changed. It was like, but we're also switching from first to third, and it just took a minute. I think that slowed me down reading this as well. And then we started Out of the Woods. In 4 hours, 4 whole hours, I got to page 96. I read 96 pages in 4 hours. In my defence, I was reading this in between watching Dancing on Ice. If you've ever seen Dancing on Ice, you might know that about 20 minutes of the hour-and-a-half programme is actually them skating. The rest of it is them just talking and telling bad jokes. So I was like watching the routines and then reading this while they were doing all the talky bits. So I was a bit distracted and I had a headache and it was just a bit much. So I only read 96 pages in 4 hours, which was not great. I'll tell you now, so far I'm not obsessed. I can't lie, I'm not obsessed with it. Out on a limb, literally from page 1, I was like, yeah, like, this is so cute, I love this. I'm not feeling it with this one. I don't not like it, but I don't love it. I have gotten to the point now where they've like just arrived at the retreat thing. So I'm hoping that now it's going to pick up a bit. Now that we've got to like the point of the book, I'm hoping it's going to pick up a little bit, but yeah, I'm not convinced by this one right now. But anyway, that brings us to the end of this video. So thank you so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up down below if you enjoyed, so I know whether or not you want me to do more of these 24-hour readathons. Sorry that I look disgusting, by the way. I didn't preface it before this clip. I've just got home from work, so I'm looking a bit minging. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye.